Tremble, Midas, Kinesis, Clanks, the bans, and I think those are actually the same bans as last game, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, the Midas is different. Not sure it was instead of Midas.
Or,
Maybe
yeah,
Swiftblade.
I'm not entirely sure what the other one
Swiftblade.
was.
But,
Yeah, probably the Swiftblade, that's right.
yeah.
Last game. Alright, so Torture from BMG's side. I like Torture versus Moira because if you activate the Impalement, then you can instantly kill the Moira illusion. So in that way, it's a great counter, I feel. They're gonna go with the Behemoth now as well as the Swiftblade, so I would assume that this is actually leaning towards that Swiftblade carry and the Behemoth Suicide. At least that's what I take out from the draft so far. Fusen probably playing the hard support, Torture in that case.
We'll see how that works out, but yeah, that's been interesting with watching Bad Monkey Gaming here so far in the in Cycle number 1, because again, Fusen seemed to be so adamant about him being more the secondary support now / jungler even, and C would be the main support, and they would see how that works, and then maybe look to even replace, depending on how it works back. Like the things he was saying, it was just like, okay, interesting, definitely want to change some things. But honestly, most of what we've seen so far, it's actually been kind of just old school BMG, really. So it's been rude to see more of a secondary support, and Fusen's has been more of that main. So yeah, I don't know if that's just another change of heart, or if they're kind of like taking back on that a little bit, or if it just happens because certain heroes that they're picking, but.
I would assume it's a change of heart. Maybe they tried it out, but they were like, hey, Root of Sea is actually doing a pretty good job, but let's just keep it the way it was. I mean, we won the Hun Tour Season 3 World Champions after all, running that exact same lineup. So, or of course, not with Make, but other than that, with, of course, Root of Sea on that secondary support. So maybe, him being threatened more or less to like be kicked out of the team right there, maybe made him, tense up a little bit and just feel the pressure and obviously push himself to improve his playstyle and do better.
That is possible there. So once again, also want to remind that there is another series going on at the same time as always with these group stages here. We got Complexity actually taking on Revolution down there. And again, Revolution, they're one of the 3 teams in a spot that is currently competing for trying to not be a bottom 2 team, basically. It's them, Sana Esports, and Fresh, believe it or not, are the 3 teams that are. 2 of those 3 teams are going to be competing for a relegation match to determine if they stay Diamond or not. So that's a pretty big deal down there. And Complexity, on the other hand, obviously trying to gain seeding value moving forward. So keep an eye on those results there. Lodestone, give me the 4th pick, though, coming out for Reason here with the Ophelia, Moraxis, and Moira already. So another solid initiation. But Zane, especially on Lodestone, seems like another hero that he's actually specifically been playing a bit lately once again. Kind of bringing the Lodestone back here.
Yeah, very comfortable with Lodestone as well. I mean, Recent Gaming, very similar draft to the first game. Of course, swapping up the Ophelia towards the Parasite and the Lodestone versus the Behemoth. But in general, this concept, the idea behind execution is pretty similar to the game number 1. But, why would you not run it? As long as it's working, I mean, it's up to BMG to try to counter it and somehow put Reason out of their comfort zone. But every single time that they give Recent Gaming the more that first pick, they just, all right, then we're going to follow it up with Ophelia or Parasite just to secure the early game. Because we can run around, we can set up kills, we can rotate. Obviously, 1 creep from Parasite, 1 Skeleton King from Ophelia or Parasite, and you got yourself a kill. That's enough for the Moira's illusion to just follow it up with whatever hero that's left on the lane, and they got a kill. Here we go with BMG actually picking up Wretched Hag as their 4th pick, and well, that would have to mean that Behemoth is actually going to be played by Root of Sea instead on that secondary support.
Well, then I also wonder, so what do they plan to do here as far as the Suicide and carry, though, too? Because Baltazar has been known to play a bit of Swiftblade as well as far as the carry role goes, but, with that Hag pick, probably think more so as Swiftblade Suicide instead, with a Hag short lane as a carry option.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's still the option to run Swiftblade in the mid lane, and yeah, they have so many different options. I mean, they don't have too much time to actually, but Seraph, the Moira and the Ophelia. I think Swiftblade Suicide should be relatively fine. Obviously, you can spin away from both the Desert Curse and the Shards of Harkon. But if Ophelia were to be lucky and get a Skeleton King, then you're dead. So of course, there's always the risk for that. And in that case, I feel like have we seen Fusen play Parasite before? Not in a tournament. I've seen him play it in scrims, but I don't think we've ever actually seen him. And that's the last pick, Parasite as well.
Yeah.
Just shows that recent gaming did not expect that whatsoever out of this Hellborn side.
Yeah, we saw him play Ophelia earlier in the cycle. I heard about that and saw him play it once. But yeah, no, Parasite, this is a little bit more of that jungle Fusen that we were sure enough just talking about even. Of possibly seeing. So he's going to give us another example here of what to expect. And we'll see. We'll see how that Parasite works out. Again, they are going against the Ophelia, so maybe just the naturally solid pick there because of that idea at least. So the final pick was the Sandwraith once again from Recent Gaming. Obviously it worked out very well for them in the first game and the matchups and everything. So they just stick into what worked out the first game and what was comfortable from it. So they're going to go with that again here. Another that can be aggressive, of course, and assist early on in the game. Parasite
I wonder if they want to contest this, by the way, if BMG actually wants to run offensive, but it doesn't look like it. Fusen is running into his own forest, at least up at the top lane. I'm curious for why he's up there, seeing as the rest of his team is down here.
Yeah, he's the only one up here, and obviously no one really, I guess Lodestone is making his way up here now. Ward of Sight on him. He's just going to simply place it, though, to block this lane camp, you could say, and we'll walk back from there. So just going to make Parasite's life a little more difficult, but ultimately not accomplishing too much. It's maybe the mentality, too, if they did get involved in a fight down here, obviously Parasite not really a hero that's going to be able to do a whole lot, so just didn't
but
want
it
to
seems
waste time.
like they are going to run offensively. They're just going to keep Parasite in their own forest to start it off. Torture and Swiftblade. Torture not really optimal for running offensively, but it could still work out. And I guess they had to adjust after the draft. This was a first pick Torture. No, it was second pick Torture actually. No, he's gonna head to the top lane, so it's not going to be a man up. After all, I actually feel like if Torture would have been down here, they would have been able to do quite a lot of work on this Sandwraith and keep him away from farming, at least for the start of it. And Hag should be able to do pretty well versus Lodestone 1-on-1.
Yeah, and it seems like more may not be too effective in terms of really boxing out both a Swiftblade and a Torture on top of that. So yeah, I got to agree. It seems like that could have been a very strong possibility here, but they insist on instead sending him to the top lane and looking to babysit more of this Hag, which again in itself is kind of odd. You think Hag versus Lodestone, Hag should be able to have a pretty good time as well by herself. But you see right here, I mean, they're really going to box out Lodestone because of Torture being up here. And that is
but
the
no impalement is on cooldown for 30 seconds, and I don't think that they are going to be able to keep staying away from experience. So I just feel like it's a pretty wasted time almost to have Torture up here, as you can see right now. Like, what is he really accomplishing up here? He can't do anything unless the impalement goes up. He's actually gonna try to counter what he's not gonna find it though.
That's a little too far, unfortunately. Yep, he expected a certain area. Unfortunately, he was wrong on that. And that's going to remain blocked as a result. So I don't know if that's the end of the world.
It still goes back as well. I mean, if they were to successfully be able to. I mean, that's a big if they were to be... Okay, actually, Impalement is going to be wasted one more time. So now it's really a question of, do you really want to stay up here? I mean, at least stack the pull camp, and in that case, pull it back so that you get some experience and farm. Sane is going to be more than fine. No, but like even if he were to be able to box out Sane here on the Lodestone, they're still trading farm on a wretched Hag for a Sandwraith for Recent Gaming side. And I just don't see the reasoning for why you would want to do that. They had such a perfect understanding of Recent Gaming's lane before that final pick as well, so everything was in BMG's hand. They choose these lanes. And I feel like they should have been a little bit more manly and just try to run a little bit more offensive.
Now, again, see the penalty right here, but honestly, Torture is the one that I think that needs to be a little careful. Because
he needs to be in trouble.
Oh my gosh, yep. And this is what I meant by needing to be careful. One more auto attack, he's going to get it. No, they'll push it! Oh, so close! He just mistimed the amount of damage, and now he's in trouble. The bait is real, and Lodestone is going to fall in the end. Oh, that was so close. Davina kill right there. That's exactly what I was thinking. But Torture, hey, he just had enough life to stay alive and set up a turn.
I think, if I'm correct, the head smash got longer range than a regular out attack,
I believe
right?
it does, yeah.
So he thought it was enough with that last head smash, but if he would have just had one more out attack before he used the head smash, he would have definitely had the first blood. So it was a really great attempt, at least, from Zayn. Of course, not working out, so well played by Root of Sia as well, setting that kill up.
Yeah.
He's actually going to buy another counter ward just to get rid of this one up here.
Wants to really take care of it. So, I mean, again, it's not like, and by that time, the war outside has almost run its course anyway. So, and the fact that he didn't even get it before the 3-minute mark, so now it's a 4-minute mark that they're waiting for. So, at that point, it's almost like, why even waste it? But, you know, at least he's able to take, and with that whole, I guess, change of the wars, where he doesn't get the refund now on at least the 25 gold. Or whatever it is for the person that is it 50? Okay, so that placed it.
I think it's 25 for Ward of Revelation and 50 for Ward of Sight, or I'm completely off.
Something like that, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right though. It's 50 for the Ward of Sight at least.
Every single time you're casting, like you're just, is it like that or is it not?
Yeah, exactly.
Always questionable. But mid lane, at least, there is some action happening. Tankafed once more is gonna rotate in and do what Tankafed does best. Of course, near there to assist as well with that more illusion. You gotta ask yourself, like, do you really want to give this kind of playstyle to recent gaming? Like, do you not want to, like, bring the pressure to them for once? Like, they have relatively greedy picks as well. Like, they don't have any initiation whatsoever throughout the early game. I don't really feel like BMG has had the opportunity to go offensive, but gonna go with the Behemoth in the mid instead.
Yeah.
Box is doing 260 gold per minute, so he's definitely not doing bad. But now with that death, of course, it's going to slow him down. And here we can see Macera running into the Meraxus. He needs to fake the quick stun. He's probably going to get a kill anyway.
Oh, it's going to get it after the stun. There we go, after the spinning pin. And yep, it will secure a kill at the end. So Maki definitely knew he was in a bad spot as soon as he started spinning, even though with the haste on Meraxus, not much of a chance of getting out of there, maybe penning a TP or two. But that didn't happen, so in the end, they easily dive and secure a kill. Not level 6 either, so no attempt for swift slashes and a quick getaway. But good commitment coming up for the Legion team and another kill for them, so now they take the 2-1 hero kill advantage. But Behemoth was able to farm up in the middle end in the meantime, and pretty good job of that.
Did you see that pickup, by the way?
I did. The Alchemist Bones on Wretched Hag. Why? I feel like we've been seeing this item a little more recently. We saw it yesterday a couple times, too. It seemed like almost out of nowhere, so interesting.
Interesting indeed. Is it the correct one? That's a tough one. I feel like the Legion team is going to lack a lot of initiation until they get a pull key onto the Meraxus. So it is greedy, yes, but I think if it manages to survive for the next 10 minutes or so without any deaths, it's definitely going to pay off. And of course, it's a great tool versus the Ophelia as well. It's not like he's going to have to deal with a Mauler or anything and take a lot of true damage to the face. Like in the case when you use it versus the Parasite.
Yeah, but there is a little more value there at least. I do gotta wonder, that's what I was thinking. It's like, if they weren't going against an Ophelia or a Parasite or anything like that, would he actually still go it? I don't know if he would, honestly. I think that's kind of just putting it over the edge of at least there's another little bit of value to it that you can take out Ophelia's minions as well, so...
I would have preferred to see him go for a straight-up light brand, if that was the case, if they didn't have the Ophelia on the Legion team.
Yeah.
Would probably be more beneficial for him.
Goes it here.
Yeah, for now it's going to be fine at least.
That is different, but again, ever since I will say, ever since the change especially happened to where you now get the experience out of it as well, I was looking forward to seeing if it's something that we did start to see a little bit more in the Alchemist Bones. And obviously the idea of the Parasite counter is what kind of was brought up, and we've seen that plenty, but just in general, wondering if we were going to see it, but that really hasn't been the case. But middle lane, yep, Shockwave initiation. Samwraith, he's coming in immediately, though, with the spawns of the illusion. In comes Lawson as well with the rocket drill, and down goes Behemoth. Parasite going to be picked off. The Bat Blast was used, but nobody dying from it or even coming close, really. Ophelia's touch wasn't even necessary there. In fact, she just has enough mana down to use it if she wanted to, so... Not a great fight for BMG, unfortunately.
Unfortunately not. They tried to, like, it's not an easy task to deal with a Maraxus level 7 this early on with the Matrax up, so they tried to use Behemoth Shockwave first, rather than use the Fissure, so that he could get in there close by and get all the auto-attack damage off necessary to secure the kill. Unfortunately not happening. Masera really fast on that Matrax, of course, getting it up before he gets stun locked, and that's going to keep him alive throughout the entire lockdown from the Hellborn side. So well played by Masera, definitely quick reaction on his part.
Back to farm we go, though, in the meantime. Imboboy, 3 assists now, 385 goal per minute. He's probably pretty similar to last game. You know, he's going to be going the Energizer here, try to keep active, and if things continue to work out, I'm sure that once again the Mock of Brilliance is going to be happening. But that's also something, too, if you're the Hellborn side. I would think, you know, Sand Wraith, maybe you're not always certain if they're going to be trying to be really greedy and go for the Mock of Brilliance like he did last game, but knowing that he went it last game especially, I really think you got to figure it's going to happen again if you're BMG. So perhaps keeping that in mind now in the game number 2 here and looking to possibly get some kills on him, preventing him from just going for it and picking it up sooner than later here in this game could be of importance.
That they could. And I think that, of course, bulking up with the Steamboots is unnecessary, or is necessary in this case. Being up versus, of course, the Parasite of Wretched Hag with that long-range flash blinking. But I don't know if Energizer necessarily is needed in this game. I felt like Ophelia potentially could have picked it up later on as well. Seeing as they saw that Hag went for that Alchemist Bones, he could have potentially gone a little bit more greedy and just went for that straight up, you know, Mock of Brilliance rather than Energizer. Of course, they can try to get active early on, and actually they're going to go here in the mid lane.
Yeah, they are. The initiation coming up. Behemoth didn't stand a chance. You see the Mana Center especially, no mana on him, and then the stun lockdown, just too much to handle, so he gets picked off in the middle. Shockwave is off cooldown still, so maybe you can try to use that after coming off a resurrection here, but good pick from the Legion team as they all collapse for that kill. And Mirage being used on top of that. Energizer just finished now as a result there, so yeah, could have definitely got a little bit more greedy himself, especially with the Aquabones pickup as you're talking about Hag, but he did not, going more of a safer battle build, you could call it even. But Wretched Hag, I wonder, is it upgraded boots still just, okay, as I say that, there we go, he buys Steam boots right there, so I was curious if that was going to be happening or not. I want to say he should have something else, though. I feel like he's had the Aquabones bones for a little bit now.
I agree.
Got boots, but I don't know.
It feels that way at least. I mean, he did port in towards the mid and try to aid. I'm not sure if he was in both those two team fights. I actually think he was. So maybe he's just wasted a lot, or not wasted, but he's been running around a lot, not necessarily farming too much.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, nothing's coming or anything, so maybe he just has what he has here. But, I mean, he is the top farm in the game, 424 gold per minute, so.
Yeah, but still, you know, free farming Wretched Hag, even babysitted, going first item Alchemist Bones, I feel like he should be at least, or he should be a little bit higher. He's been trying to aid his team, but it hasn't been working out. It's so difficult having a Maraxus in that mid lane. You just cannot bring him down, so he hasn't getting any kills out of those rotations, and as a result, his farm is definitely suffering.
Yeah. Top lane, they're trying to set up a kill on the Lodestone, but Zane picked up on that pretty quickly. He's going to rocket drill away. And he'll be fine. Moira, the illusion, just simply going to harass a little bit before falling back herself. So good heads up from Zane right there. Middle lane, Fidget Stone was used to kind of block here a little bit, but they're going to keep this push coming as Ophelia and Meraxis putting some pressure onto the tower now. Behemoth by himself may not be able to do a whole lot here, but if they choose to defend, they definitely could put up a fight.
There's a haste rune on Meraxis though, and that just makes it so much more difficult to deal with. Like, they cannot initiate on him. Like, whatever happens, like, there's just no way.
Yeah.
They can try to use the Fissure and try to get a block off, but yeah, exactly, this is going to happen. I don't think he's going to be able to secure the kill. The Fissure is...
Oh, he shockwaved right there, by the way. He's getting too much lockdown, though, and down goes Behemoth. They are going to get the kill onto him right there. Parasite, though, in the Skeleton King net on his Sand Wraith. The big burst onto him. He didn't stand a chance. Swift Slash is even used, making sure to take him out. So it is a 1-for-1.
As well?
Ooh, the Bat Blast just out of range. That would have applied the Haunt as well for the slow, but it was just too far. And now here comes the Haste of Miraculous, but the spin from Ake in time, making him immune as a result. Wretched Hag off to the side, though. He's pretty squishy, remember, especially with the Outbones. And that showed right there. Taking too much burst. He goes down, and the Skeleton King taken over by Parasite to just get on out of there. So the fight does come to a conclusion. I got to think the Legion team comes out on top of that one in the end.
That is certainly do. Only losing 1 to... Was that 2 kills for the... yeah, 2 kills for the Legion team,
so,
I think.
yeah.
Plus the tier 1 tower, of course, in that middle lane. So that's definitely going to open up the Hellborn side a little bit more as well. And that Ophelia tank of it is going to finish up an Astro on top of things. And now it's going to be really difficult for the Hellborn team to actually bring them down. Actually, Fusen went for an Astro himself on the Parasite. I'm not entirely sure what I feel about that one. Obviously, Astro is great in any game, but I feel like they lack a lot of damage almost here in the Hellborn team. I don't think that they are going to be able to bring down anyone in the Legion team. Like Lodestone, heavily, like so much armor. You cannot bring him down, especially now when they finished up the Steam Boots. Same goes with the Meraxes. And then you have, of course, Arcane Vortex to keep them alive from the Mora. You got Ophelia's Touch and Astro from Ophelia. And yeah, it's just going to be too much. I think they need to focus on getting pickoffs, just being active, rotating around the map with Swiftblade and Behemoth rather than seeking those kind of team fight oriented items.
I agree, and I do think it is a little bit showing of maybe Fusen's lack of at least tournament experience with a hero like Parasite. It really just doesn't make a lot of sense. It is it's too defensive, definitely, and yeah, the lack of damage output has been a little bit concerning. It's just a very continue to be a very greedy style.
Is so...
Hag actually went down first too, but Swiftblade almost going down to the Ancients. Yeah, they wanted Hag, but I think if Samwraith ported a Swiftblade, he would have definitely got the kill onto him, actually, and I think Hag was dead anyway, so...
I mean, obviously he didn't see it.
Yeah.
He was just randomly doing the actions at the time, and so you can't really blame Imbervoid for that. I mean, he wanted to kill at the top lane.
Well, he got it at
close,
least.
Though. Could have been very lucky there, getting 2 kills instead of 1.
Wait, Glowstone? Oh, yeah, wow, Glowstone on... Wretched Hag. I mean, is the intention there actually a staff, or is it an icon?
I think the staff is so... I like, on Wretched Hag, I find it, like, interesting. I don't know what is actually best. I mean, it increases the damage output, and it reduces the cooldown a little bit as well. But isn't, like, a Grimoire potentially, like, even more damage output than the staff itself?
Just
I mean, that
overall,
boosts,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that boosts out attacks and the Sonar Screams and everything on top of things. And it's not that. I mean, it's just 1k or 900 gold more expensive.
And the build-up's so much better for a Grimoire. The Light Brand itself is actually going to do some pretty solid stuff for you. Yeah, I 100% agree. So, but then, if it's not that, though, it could be the Icon of the Goddess, to be fair, but even that is a little... It just doesn't
really
feel
odd.
like a Hag item for some reason. I mean, she is an intelligence carry, so, I mean, in that sense, it kind of should be. But she's not one that's going to, I don't know, she does use a bit of mana, so the regen is useful, I guess. It just seems like she's more of a Hellflower, a Sheepstick even, or even that Light Brand and a Grimoire, of course. This does not feel like her style. Compared to, like, maybe a
It could have worked out. Like, I could have definitely seen the icon being picked up on a Wretched Hag, but in that case, it would have been BMG having the advantage. They're actually taking map advantage, or they're actually, trying to contest the Legion side. But so far in this game, they've only gotten 2 kills, 2 hero kills. So going for an icon that requires those kills to happen is probably not the best case.
Yeah. Well, going for something here as far as the staff or the icon. We'll see what that Glowstone does run into. Maybe just wants it simply now for the stats and maybe eventually a staff or something like that. But
once again, I mean, it's good for survivability, of course, but it doesn't really feel like the Legion team is going to bring out that much burst damage. They do have the Meraxes and the Lodestone, of course. It can be a little bit scary, but once again, I mean, it's not necessarily BMG's or the Hellborn's teams. Like, the draft around these heroes doesn't say that they should bulk up and just be defensive. It feels like they should bring all the pressure to the Legion team.
Yeah. Wow, Meraxes actually caught Swift, but they're timing big time, and it will be a kill. Yeah, I mean, it's not insane burst damage, but it's some pretty good upfront damage that definitely can catch you off guard, especially with that deserted from Samwraith. But by the way, here comes a counter on a Meraxes. Oh, beautiful! Arcane Vortex that prevents the Bat Blast, and now they're coming out, and Parasite's in trouble. He has the Astrolabe. He's going to use it right there. He takes over the Hell Cannon, and that will keep him alive at least. And now the chase is on for the Hellborn side. Not really. Torture getting locked down by the Skeleton Kings. Not much he can do to chase, but Meraxes says, I'm back, bitches. Down goes Torture. Wretched Hag is going to blink away and we'll be fine, but that Arcane Vortex. Baltazar, he's had some very unfortunate Bat Blasts this game.
That's sure to say. But that was a great heads up by Nier, so you got to give the credit for him rather than blame Baltasar for it. Nier, once again, I mean, he plays the hero to perfection every single time. He's just on top. He knows the deal. He's always there to just save the carry. He's just always sitting behind Imba Boy. In this case, he was actually saving Masera, but same deal there. And now Hellborn team, like, they're just so far behind again. And I'm not entirely sure if they've used Alchemist Bones even once to get rid of an Ophelia creep. Like, if he gets nearby, like, if he even gets remotely close to the Ophelia, Tankafet's micro is on top every single time, and he just locks the Wretched Hag down at the same time.
Yeah.
And obviously, you cannot afford that. And it seems like he's actually going for Icon of the Goddess rather than the Staff of the Master.
Okay, yeah, he does have the Beast Heart, so the Icon, sure enough, is coming. But it's like, where is their actual carry threat coming from? Because an Icon's not really that. It's more of a early fighting, sustaining item, if anything, as Behemoth gets picked off at the bottom lane. Lowe's ton of Miraxis to thank for that, as they both have the portal keys and, of course, get the catch. That's another thing where he does have the portal key now, but obviously got a little bit later even, but still not too bad, I guess. 18 minutes in, he has a power supply bottle on top of that, too, with the boot, so not too bad for Box here on Behemoth, but this wasn't a suicide Behemoth at the same time. This was a middle Behemoth, so from that perspective, it actually is not that great, to be honest.
Compare him to Miraxis.
Yeah.
Like, two heroes that during laning phase at least does pretty even. And yeah, you can see the support from the Legion side and the place where Miraxis is currently, and where the place that, or the impact that Miraxis has had for the Legion team, and the impact that Behemoth has had for the Hellborn team. Like, he's 0-5-0, and here we go again, Masera.
It's like Swiftblade's like, well, nothing I can do. So Behemoth jumps in with a shockwave, but look at the heals! Ophelia's touch basically nullifies a shockwave. However, Sandwraith is bursted as Parasite and Wretched Hag come together. The Bat Blast, the first one this game really that actually does some decent work here. Gets the kill on a Sandwraith. Wretched Hag still insisting on chasing. And going for Ophelia now even, but no, actually doesn't see her. It's chasing elsewhere. Okay, no, he's actually getting away because, yeah, everyone's up and doesn't want to get involved as it's her and not much else.
He's going to go in once more, though, with the Veiled Rot, sure, but he's going uphill right here, and Tankafet does have that Skeleton King.
Yeah.
They do have a Word of Sight here.
Gotta be really careful.
Trying to find him. You can see Baltasar just keeping himself out of range, looking for the opportunity. The second that the Ophelia goes by himself, he wants to jump, but not gonna happen.
All right, so he will squeak on through. He finds more Axis. Nothing he's going to be able to do there, really, though. And that's a fallback. So he gets a couple charges on his Icon, at least, as he was there for the kill, of course, onto Sandwraith and had it picked up by then. So that's some good news, but the beginning of what they need to have happen, of more to come for sure. So at least they do kind of win that exchange there, though. So they say, although Swiftblade, top lane. Is he going to get caught? Here comes Lowstone. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Behemoth is here with that Polky, but I feel like he should pick up the Striders, though, because every single time he's just moving so slow. He's trying to run around and try to set up the counter kills, but he just doesn't have the movement speed to do so. I think the Strider's like 150 gold, such a good investment, and he's going to blink into the creeps! He's going to try to port out, but
that's not going to happen. Yep, got greedy. And that pays, or cost him his life even. I mean, it's easy for us to say, like, why would he do that? I mean, it's a yellow camp in its own jungle, but there is no vision. Clearly it's an aggressive team on the Legion side, so they happen to just be nearby.
I mean, his teammate got picked off relatively nearby just 20 seconds ago. So maybe Afusen is actually going to find himself like, he's trying, man.
Yep, he's going to get caught actually by the stun. In comes the Desert's Curse. This is a dead Parasite, just no matter who gets the last hit. Masera will take credit for it. And down he goes. And there's the Mock of Brilliance, by the way, on Sandwraith. I kind of just forgot about him, to be honest. But nope, he has a Mock now finished. The items, 3,700 gold on Miraxis, by the way. I wonder what the hell he's going to be going for here, but...
Hellflower, I would hope. I mean, if he gets a Hellflower, he's level 16, he's going to be able to one-shot pretty much everyone on the Hellborn side, except maybe the Wretched Hag.
We'll see what he does pick up. But speaking of Hellflower, Wretched Hag has... is that a Brutal? No, he got stunned. What the hell? Oh, is the Skeleton King? No. What did he get stunned by? He's going to go down right there. I'm trying to figure out what he got stunned by. Because something stunned him. I would have to watch that replay.
Yeah, I missed that. I mean, was it the Mirage usage?
It
In that
might have
case,
been
it
the
could have
Minotaur, I
potentially
guess.
right.
Or the
It wasn't anything
Mirage.
with like near putting the shards of Harkon on Semref using the Mirage and
Oh,
porting it.
that might have been it then. Okay.
I don't know. I didn't see the situation, so I can't say for sure. But I'm just
Yeah.
grasping for something.
Yeah, here, I got the replay up right here. Well, hopefully no action happens live. It doesn't look like it is, but yeah, so I didn't think the Minotaur was close enough for the stun. It seemed like right as Sandarith went in, he got stunned. So let's see if I don't even know if I caught him on camera, to be honest, but yeah, look at middle, then eventually go to the top lane here. There we go. It was the shards. Yeah, you're right. So it's that synergy coming into play once again.
Yeah, that's just insane.
Yeah.
That synergy. I've never thought about it, but it's freaking amazing. Oh, Swift Play, by the way, in a little bit of trouble. He's gonna try to. Okay, he's gonna spin and port out. He should be fine. Nier not gonna try to stop him with that vortex. Not in range, unfortunately.
He's good. Yeah, that's why I said Brutalizer first, because I was like, it almost looked like a Brutalizer hit, but it's like, wait a second, he just got the mock.
Oh, this Masera guy is trolling me. He's gonna find Behemoth though, not because of the Shroud, but...
Oh, that was because of the Shroud, baby.
That
was all the Shroud. Shroud Moraxis, here we go. I don't know what to think. I'm a little numb right now. No, that's a curious pickup for sure. But, hey, he's able to sneak up on people, I guess. In fact, he's going to go to the middle lane with it because they're chasing. They're trying to catch the Swiftblade. Off to the side is a Wretched Hag. Moraxis, yep, he'll land the stomp. Swiftblade gets caught. Can he get a spin off in time? Yes, he can. And he'll be fine for now. Again, Hag is still in the flank over here. Going to catch them off guard. At least that's the idea. She kind of just runs in. Oh, no. Okay. That could have been brutal if she ended up dying there. She kind of just walked right into them, but she is going to be fine. She blinks away. And now...
Oh, Swiftblade though, he's gonna run in spin is on cooldown though. That could have been very unfortunate for him. His spin's still on cooldown, by the way. There it goes up.
Just in time. Yeah, Moraxis was ported back here, so he is not in the fight. They know that, but still they're not going to take it. That'll be the end of it. So
yeah, it's Shroud. I mean, it's obviously a troll pick from Masera. I definitely feel like the Hellfire would have been... Yeah, it is. Like, it's not... Like, you don't go on Assassin's Shroud seriously on Moraxis. It's... I mean, he's been writing a little bit in All Chat as well. Like, I think he's a little bit trollish, actually, with that pickup.
Yeah.
I don't see any sense, or I don't see any reason for why you would pick it up, at least. But, like... I don't think that they're that far ahead. I mean, it probably feels that way because they're 18 and 3, but like Hellborn team definitely has the late game, and if they get level 16 on Wretched Hag as well, then I feel like if they overcommit a little bit, Legion team and Hellborn team just genocide them for once, then they are more than back into this game. So, hate to be negative, but I don't think that this game is as over as recent gaming might think it is.
That's why I think I'm kind of questioning whether it's a troll or not, because I do the logic that, yeah, the item itself, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Something like a Hellfire definitely would be more valuable, but because you're right, this game is not over. One fight, which is definitely very possible from BMG that goes their way with a big Bat Blast, a big Shockwave initiation, things can definitely come together here. Then this is a somewhat even game at that point. It's been a funky build here on this Wretched Hag, but she's going to start getting some more carry presence. But I think more importantly is that Swiftblade. He's kind of struggled to have a great game, but they win a big fight, maybe gets a boost in that GPM, and all of a sudden he's becoming more of a threat as far as his carry presence himself. So, yeah, again, it sounds it does have some value at least. It's not like a spell shards or something like that where we've been just kind of really trolly, but it is very curious nonetheless. Behemoth, by the way, getting picked up the top lane. Arcane Vortex stopping, the TP's coming in, and that means Swiftblade's going to turn around immediately, but the chase is not over apparently. As they want to still go in, the jump from Lodestone, the Shadow Storm going off, and Parasite, there's nothing to jump into. And that shows right there. The Bat Blast hits. It doesn't matter, though. Down goes Swiftblade. Wretched not going to blink away. Can she actually survive from this? They're not going to chase it, so she will, but her teammate's dying in the process. However, Dust comes out. Oh,
is she
the
gonna
rocket drill.
I don't think she is.
Oh, yeah, the cliff kind of causing issues. They are going to chase. The Mana Sunder coming out, and that should do it. No, she's going to be able to blink in time. That's a nice chain reaction stun from Torture at least, so saves the day there. But the tower is still going to fall.
Oh, tank event!
What's up, tank event? Oh my god, he did just die, didn't he? I didn't even notice his life. Oops.
It was the fortification usage. Like at the last second, he was like, I got this. I'm tanking the tower, and the fortification comes out just when the tower is about to die.
And another just, all right. just like a last game. just a random time to concede, it feels like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at that time, after that fight, yeah, you could tell the momentum's just all lost, especially after the first game. BMG just kind of not feeling it, I guess. I mean, but the item picks, Boxy 0-9-1. That has to be one of his worst performances as far as the hero stat line goes. Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's just, it was off. It did feel weird.
Obviously, like, you can, say that, yeah, he might not necessarily have that good of a game, but it's still, I mean, it's not entirely his fault. I mean, it wasn't that much that he could really do. Behemoth is not the kind of hero that can, get those solo kills. He really needs his teammates to run around and set up the kills, and it just didn't feel like Torture, of course, not necessarily fulfilling any purpose at the top lane, unfortunately. And then going for those very passive items, like on Vrshit Hag, Alchemist Bones, it's an Icon of Goddess, like literally no teamfight presence whatsoever or any damage output.